Yo, it's good. It's BiG Lou, the biggest, and I'm back with a new video. Today I'm breaking down the sample you could hear on like Donda 2 or even something for Kanye, some like gospel type inspired sample, and yeah, this is the final sample. So that's the final sample. I love how it sounded. I love the vocals and how like simple it is and all that. Anyway, this is the first sound I used. It's this pad from Analog Lab. It's Ariana Chords. I love this preset. I think it's from Loophole, and it's playing these notes. I can't remember if I played them in or if I can't remember, but these just the notes, and this is what it sounds like by itself. Yes, it's super ambient, love the sounds, and all I did was add a reels and messed around, turned up the harshness and turned down the flutter, and I think just an EQ to cut out the super highs and just make it like super narrow. Then the next sound was this bass from probably Analog Lab. Yeah, it's the Bottomless Pit. I also love this bass. I can't remember where it's from, but all it's doing is it's following the root notes, and this is just what it sounds like by itself. Yes, it's super wide bass. That's why I turned it down, turned it more mono a bit, and don't think I added any effects. Yeah, not even an EQ. Then the next sound was, I think I wanted some vocals in it, so I went to Splice. I found this vocal, and this is just what it sounds like by itself. Yeah, so it just repeats the second half. And what I did for like this reverse reverb part is I went into Edison. Went on play, then pressed the record button, soloed just the vocals, and I pressed play and it stopped pretty much right after the first word. Then you come into Edison, you find this reverb button, or you cut out all the sounds you don't want. Like if they're saying the second word, you cut that out. You just want the first word. Then so you cut everything out. Then you come up to this reverb part, turn wet all the way up, except, then it should give you something like that. And then you can just drag it in, reverse it. And most of the time I just chop off a bit, and that's how you get like the reverse reverb part. I use it a lot when engineering artists and stuff. It's a cool trick to know. It's also cool to add to like leads and just like guitars and stuff to make it transition better into each other, I guess. And for the effects, for the vocals, I just added Fresh Air, the Presence Pop piece preset, and then just a convology, just a medium chamber preset that had a bit of reverb, and just an EQ to cut out the super lows. Then after I heard that, I wanted because it already felt super gospel-y, so I wanted to add an organ, and the organ is from probably Analog Lab. Yep. And it's called the Church Chords. Perfect name. And all it's doing is it's playing the same chords as the pad earlier, and this is just what it sounds like. Yeah, love how it sounds. And for the effects, I added an OTT with these effects, a Reels, just messing around with the knobs and stuff, and then just a fruity balance so I could automate the volume, because it's got this like white noise in the background that if you don't automate it, it will like mess up all the other sounds. I don't know how to explain it, but I just added that just so it didn't interfere with the other sounds, and just an EQ to cut out like the lows and a bit of a highs. Then I found this perk loop from one of Only One's kits, and this is what it sounds like. Yeah, so I just added it to add a bit of groove and stuff, and for the effects, I just added a fruity flanger, turned the mix down a bit, a shaper box to make it pan left and right, and then a EQ to cut out the lows and highs. Then the rest of the sounds is just textures and stuff, and it's just what it sounds like. Yeah, nothing crazy. Everyone's got textures, so just added those to make it sound as if it was like vintage or something. And then bounced out the sample. I didn't pitch it up or down because I loved the pitch it was at. And all I did, added this effect rack, the basic vintage punch, and turned it down, turned the mix down a bit. This J37, the 811 15 IPS setting, and then a mid-side matrix, turning the sides down a bit, and then an EQ to cut out the super low lows. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is how I would make something for like Donda 2, something for like Kanye gospel inspired sample. Let me know if you guys learned anything. Let me know what you guys want to see and all that. And yeah, peace.